Ugh. My bangs are like super faded. What's up, rainbow heads? Welcome back to my channel. For those of you just joining me for the first time, hello, how are you? My name is Caitlin Ford. I am a professional stylist and an award-winning colorist who specializes in really weird hair. Last week I asked you, why does that seem familiar? So last week I asked you guys if you would rather see a video about this hot roots hair trend that's been going around, or if you wanted to see me create some DIY scene hair extensions. You guys voted in favor of the hot roots overwhelmingly, so here we are. So today I'm going to be showing you guys some really cool neon oil slick hot roots. I hope you guys like this look. So what exactly are hot roots? Hot roots are something that a stylist typically likes to avoid on a day-to-day basis in the salon. Basically, hot roots just means that the hair at the root is a lot lighter and brighter than the rest of the hair after coloring, because the heat from the scalp can actually cause the color to process lighter and brighter than the rest of your hair color. You guys have probably seen this a lot in the internet's most epic bleach fails. I can feel the collective cringe. Red hair color is also another notorious culprit of hot roots. With red, it's really important to make sure that you use a lower volume developer at the root and use a higher volume developer on the mids to ends. That's going to help end up balancing that hot root effect out. We also see this mistake a lot with people who think that they can lighten their already colored hair by just putting a lighter color all over their hair. Unfortunately, that's not how hair color works. Hair color cannot lighten already colored hair. You have to use bleach or a hair color remover to remove artificially colored hair. So what ends up happening is the natural color at the root ends up lightening, but the artificial color everywhere else stays the same. As a result, you are left with something like this. But lately, the internet has been serving up some super colorful hot roots done intentionally. I mean, just check out these amazing pictures that I found on Instagram. And I am here for it. Billie Eilish has even been seen sporting this look lately. I mean, seriously, how iconic is this? And the cool thing about neon colors like what Billie has is that they actually will glow under a black light. I mean, check out this video. For whatever reason, the Venn diagram for people who want fun hair color and people who dye their hair black seems to be a circle. I love this trend because it is yet another example of a really great creative solution for people who are dyeing their hair dark, or people who already have dark hair and don't necessarily want to damage their entire head by bleaching their hair out. The cool thing about doing it right at the root is you're going to get the brightest payout for your bleaching, and because the hair lightens a lot more effectively, you don't have to use as high a volume of developer. You also don't have to process it for as long. The hair ends up staying a lot healthier when you're bleaching in isolated areas like with these looks. So today I'm actually working on a mannequin head instead of a wig or an actual person. It's definitely gotten a little bit spendy buying wigs constantly to do this, and it's really hard for me to schedule people to do a specific creative look in the times that I need. I do have a full-time job. YouTube is not my full-time job, believe it or not. So today I am working with a mannequin head. No! So I apologize for the extra creepy face that's going to be in this video. Despite this look being on a creepy mannequin head, there's no reason why you can't replicate this exact look on an actual person. It's about the techniques, it's not necessarily about the person it's going on. Let's do this. So here I've sectioned my mannequin off in this sort of teardrop shaped sectioning, with the intent that I'm going to be parting this hair down the middle. If your client parts their hair a different way, then you're going to want the point of your teardrop to align with their parting. And you may need to have your teardrop shape be a little bit asymmetrical. In other words, wider on the heavier side of the part and narrower on the lighter side of the part. I'm actually using a pomade, just a men's hairstyling pomade, just brushing this on the hair that I'm planning on leaving out of this hair color design. As bleach is processing, it actually expands. If you've ever used bleach before and you've noticed you go to use your bowl at some point, maybe later on in the process, and it has puffed up significantly in the bowl, well, it does that on the hair too. It literally expands. So I'm using this pomade around the area that I plan to bleach because I'm hoping that it'll kind of act as a barrier and keep some of that expanding bleach from creating too much of a bleed line on the outside hair. So for all the looks that I showed you guys at the beginning of this video, you can see that that root color is all over the head. If you wanted your placement like this, it's pretty straightforward. You just apply the lightener as a retouch all over the head, and then you follow up with your hair color. Today, I'm going to be lazy and just lighten this section at the top of the head. The part of this color that's going to take the most amount of time is applying those little stripes all over the hair hair. So if you wanted to, you could take the time to do this all over the head, but I feel like this top section of the hair is probably the place where you're going to see the color the most. And so for me, I'm kind of like, do I really want to spend like 3 hours coloring underneath where no one's going to see it? I don't think so. I think I'm just going to do the section on top of the head. The pomade also makes a really great surface for me to stick this balayage film to it. I'm sticking balayage film all the way around the section as well, just to act as a little bit of extra protection. You can never have too much protection, guys. Now we are ready to bleach. I'm starting in the back of my mannequin's head, and I'm lightening as if my mannequin has about 2.5 inches or so of regrowth. Obviously my mannequin doesn't have actual regrowth, so I have to play pretend here. I'm painting my lightener on directly to the scalp and then dragging it down to that 2.5 inch or so mark. I'm taking about 1/4 inch sections, saturating the regrowth area with lightener, and separating off my sections using balayage film. Something I like to do whenever I'm lightening like this is something I refer to as priming. Priming basically just means that you're painting your lightener on your balayage film, mesh, foil, whatever you happen to be using before you lay your section down on top of it. That basically just helps to lay a foundation down of lightener to make sure you get really good saturation on your sections. The most important part about lightening is saturation. I mean, it's kind of the most important part about color in general whenever you're applying hair color, but especially with bleach, saturation is key to getting a really nice, even lift. So here's my mannequin's hair after bleaching, and now we are ready to mix our colors up. We are going to be working with a rainbow palette again today, and I actually took the time to measure out my exact formulations, so if you guys are interested in exact formulations, they will be on the screen. My colors today are pink, orange, yellow, green, blue, and violet. So for today's look, I am revisiting something that I refer to as a progressive pattern placement. You guys have seen me use this method in my holographic hair video and in my less bleach, less damage video, but you know, a recap never hurts, so let's go over this one more time. I could literally do a whole video just on the topic of progressive pattern placements because there is so much that you can do with them. But for the sake of not making this video 1,000 million years long, I'm gonna simplify it as best as I can. If you'd be interested in me doing like a really in-depth video on progressive pattern placements, drop a comment down below and let me know that you want to see that video. Long story short, this method creates diagonal lines in the hair. For this look, I wanted the high side of my lines towards the back and the low side of the lines towards the front, so I'm starting on the back of the head, working my way forward. I lay my rainbow pattern down on my first section in exact rainbow order, and in the next section, the last color in my palette, which was violet, becomes the first color on my new section. And we just keep repeating that. Blue is the first color in the next section, and then green, and then yellow, orange, and then back to pink. You're gonna repeat your pattern all the way down your section before moving on to the next section. And you keep doing this over and over again until either your arms fall off, you die, or you finally finish. You wanna make sure that you're being careful to heavily saturate every section, because every section is going to help saturate the back of the section that you lay on top of it next. Saturation is definitely key to help make sure your color is even looking and not spotty. Please enjoy this montage of rainbow goodness as we finish up this masterpiece. Here she is with her color fully applied, and now all we have to do is wait 20 minutes and then rinse with cold water to prevent any bleeding. I don't know what it is about coming through wet hair color that makes me feel all warm and tingly inside, but for some reason it does. So now comes my favorite part, which is playing with the finished hair color. Look at it. Be still, my beating heart. From the side you can really see the diagonal lines kind of forming in this hair color. I just love how these colors look when the hair is moving. They have a shifting kind of feel to them, and I am absolutely obsessed. From the front, it almost has kind of like a thermal imaging kind of effect. I also experimented with some braids because why not? One of my absolute favorite things about this type of hair color is how it transforms with different styling. It's like getting a million different color looks out of one single head of hair. This type of hair color isn't for everyone, but you know, I love it. Just like makeup, just like nails, just like clothes, accessories, hair is yet another personal canvas you can express yourself on, and it's fun to think outside the box with it. So here's the decapitated head of my victim today. So here are her little braids. I left them in here so you guys can see this in the light, in a little bit of a different light. I just love like these just kind of like peeking out here. It just looks so cool. Like I love that. And then this side you can see is a little bit cleaner because I braided all of that back. And obviously this look would be a little bit different had I bleached this all out and done these rainbow stripes everywhere. Sometimes it's good to just kind of simplify things a little bit, especially because this color pattern is so intricate. When you break it down just in a little section like this, it's gonna save you a lot of time, but it still looks really cool. Obviously you can adjust this depending on what your client is looking for and what they want specifically. I am so happy with how this came out. I love how when you look at it from the top, you have these like perfect little arcing kind of rainbows happening. What do you think, girl? Do you like your hair? She likes it. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video today. It was a lot of fun for me to make. I hope this inspired you guys to keep thinking outside of the box with hair. If you like this video, please be sure to let me know by hitting the thumbs up button and dropping a comment down below. It helps me out a ton, you guys. And if you like weird hair stuff, please hit the subscribe button because I do a lot of weird hair stuff. For the month of October, I have some really cool ideas planned for Halloween hair. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss out on those because you're not going to want to miss it. I promise you. I have got some really cool stuff planned and you are gonna want to see it. In my last video, I created a wig, and if you guys have been following me, you know if I create a wig, I ask you guys to help me name them. Brittany Boardwine's suggestion was my favorite for this particular look. She said that the hair color reminded her of a Venus flytrap, and so she would call it Venus, and I absolutely love it. So this look is called Venus. Anyway, that is it for today's tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And remember guys, hair completes the look. I'll see you later, Rainbow Heads.